I'm Vi. Played Sky Striker at the Sacramento regionals. My ending record was X2-2. I started off with a loss and a draw, and then I was winning out up until round, I think it was round 7 or 8, where there's about 3 to 4 minutes left in time, and then my opponent took the remainder of the between games 2 and 3 to side his deck, so it forced the draw out, so I wasn't able to complete it. And then the last like 1 or 2 rounds, there wasn't really much motivation to play after realizing I won't be able to top the event. But still was a good time, got a good experience, played a really nice deck. So let's hop into it. So we played Sky Striker. Only monsters that we played were Ray. We played the Card of Demise version. I thought that was going to be a little bit better. I've been playing it since the Forbidden list came out. And then after the list where the YCS in London happened, where the winner played the Card of Demise, a lot of people learned how to counter it. So it was a little bit difficult adapting to that. We played Metaverse for one of the traps. There can be only one, and then 3 Solemn Judgment. I played Judgment over things like Lost Wind or the Compulse if we're going to look at the winners list, just because this card just basically says no to anything. I thought Compulse was nice, but just having the idea of the deck was to dig into these trap cards and just kind of sit there and then like with Mystic Mine out and then kind of just keep poking at it and win that way. So it was more of a stall deck versus like aggressive. So that's it for the traps and the monsters. So we'll just get into the spells. Obviously 3 engage, 2 area 0, and 2 shark cannon. Very standard. And then for the ones, we played the Hercules base, multi-roll, Widow Anchor, Afterburner, Eagle Booster, and Hornet Drums. I didn't play the Jamming Waves in the main deck. I expected like a lot of more combo, and my games 1 is okay when I go up against back row decks, so I thought the Jamming Waves in the side was more relevant than in the main deck. So the winner of the deck, Card of Demise, card's really good. Just allows you to get into everything. You don't need to make your Link summons turn 1 or even like mid-game. There's a time where you can just have Hayate out, just poke Card of Demise after, and then you're in a good shape. Upstart Goblin and Pot of Desires. This card was really interesting. The idea was like when you did with Demise, you don't have to do this turn 1. This card just basically gets you to everything. You just want to use cards to dig to what you need. So my desires were like 90% of the time were really good. It was very rare that I banish things that I missed later on. I played 3 Foolish Goods. The idea with 3 versus the standard 2 was that with Card of Demise, this is a card that you typically draw into, so you just send your Metal Foes, you keep drawing, so you resolve most, like twice if not 3 times in a duel by just sending Metal Foes or sending things out of the way. So this card the whole engine was broken. 3 is super necessary. 1 Terraforming and 2 Mystic Mine. Same thing with the deck, you just want to stall it out, all that good stuff. Reinforcement, Cosmic Cyclones for the removal, and then the last card, which was really broken, was Monster Reborn. A lot of people don't really play this, but it also just recycles your Kagari, lets you go into the opponent's graveyard, and just overall is a very good card that puts you back into the game when you're low on resources if you get to that point. We'll go into the extra deck. So obviously 1 Kagari, 1 Kana. Then we play 3 of the blue and 3 of the green. So super standard, other than some people play 2 of the Kana, but 1's all you really need. We played the Blackluster Soldier Link. This card is really good. A lot of your Shark Cannon plays you're bringing out like a level 6 or higher. Even with Widow Anchor, you can do the same thing. So a lot of the times that you make him, he is unaffected by your opponent's card effects. And then if you set this up with like a Hercules base, you're banishing 2 cards. You're also drawing 2 when you destroy monsters, and just this card puts in a lot of work. And it's good times whenever you make him. Very very rare do you make him and you lose. Hida and Phoenix, very self-explanatory. For the Link floors, I played Boral Sword and Avermax. A lot of people are playing Bomber Dragon, which makes sense over Avermax, just because Avermax isn't necessarily generic to make as a Link 4. Same with Boral Sword, so if you want a Link climb, it's a little bit harder getting into them, but this one's more rewarding to make. Ningirsu the out, your Universal out, and then Dingirsu for the Orcus matchups. So you just take the Galatea from the graveyard or Widow Anchor, stacking Girsu on top, call it a day. Finally for the side, we have Nibiru, This card's really good. A lot of problems are in theory come up where you try to remove this one with your Sky Striker spells, but if you have this and Ray, you could just attack the token with this or Ray, depending on the token's defense, tag out the Ray into Hayate, send your multi-roll, and then multi-roll this away if it's a problem. And so a lot of the times, like, Nibiru it wins games. So against Salamangreat, you let them go first, you have this, you win. They use their entire board to resource it out, and it just wins. I played Lancia. The argument was either this or Crow. I opted with this, but I felt like Crow's going to be a little bit better, but my Thunder matchup was more of the issue, and Lancia puts in a little bit more work than that. Shared Right for the Mirror, Mind Control for the Mirror, or even against Orcus, taking the Galatea or the Dingirsu or things like that. 2 Twin Twister, and then finally the Jamming Waves. And that'll be it.
Congrats, dude. Thanks for sharing.
Not a problem. Thank you.